Hello friends, welcome to the most interesting chapter of your EIS. We're going to do a quick revision of the chapter that is very relevant in today's day and age, and it is very interesting as well. So if you're ready with me, let's proceed. Chapter number 4, E-commerce, M-commerce and emerging technologies. What is e-commerce? Day in, day out, we interact with so many components, so many websites in the on the internet, and we order things. So buying and selling of commodities on the internet. E-commerce means trade, buying and selling of commodities over the internet. The new model of e-commerce would be, as you can see on the screen, the order is placed, we add it to the shopping cart, we make a payment. This payment could be through credit card, debit card, UPI. Yeah, once the order is completed, we get an email, and then from here the order form is sent to the data warehouse, and from this warehouse the fulfillment is being done. Okay, so nowadays people are the e-commerce companies are coming up with new digitized warehouses in proximities in areas closer to the localities where people are staying, so that the shipping can be done faster than we ever could get it earlier. There are a few basic differences between traditional commerce and e-commerce. The points are easy to remember. We're just going to glance through that in this revision session. The definition, the location of service, what is online, what is physical, size of the store, the marketing. Okay, one is one-to-one, one is one-to-one and one is one-to-many. Transaction processing, availability, inspection before purchase, customer interaction, business scope, information exchange, payment delivery, fraud, process, clerical errors and profits. Okay, now these are basic points of differentiation between the traditional commerce and e-commerce. Most of these points will come naturally to you if you apply your basic logic. Components of e-commerce. Now under the components, please look at the question, components of e-commerce. Under that you can imagine a scenario where you're sitting inside your room and ordering for your favorite top. So you're the user, and for that you need some technology infrastructure. You either need to order it from your laptop or your phone. So tech infrastructure, and then you need to connect to the internet. Only then you will be able to order from your favorite e-com website, internet or network, and then you need to make the payment for your order. Payment gateway. Okay, before that you're going to connect to an e-com vendor. You're going to choose which e-com vendor you want to buy it from. Okay, you're going to connect to the web portal, choose an e-commerce vendor, and then finally make the payment. So the components of e-commerce are also very easy. Now this internet means 3G, 4G, 5G. Yeah, web portal is the interface between the user and the e-commerce vendor. Now e-commerce vendor, there are many points that are given in your textbook. So the e-commerce vendor needs to take care of their supply chain management, warehouse operations, the shipping and return policy that they have. They need to ensure that the catalog is very colorful, attractive, and the product display is there on the website. Now this product display also needs to be in the on the basis of relevancy or popularity, so that it attracts the customers. Marketing and loyalty programs. Many e-commerce come up with coupons, deals, so that the customers are loyal to that particular company. Showroom and offline purchases. Certain e-commerce company believe that in sales are higher in case they have a physical store in the city where people can go see, touch and feel the product before they place an order for that. Example could be your pepper fry for furniture, or it could be a lens card for spectacles. They have an online presence, but they have a physical presence too, because people still like to go touch, see, feel the product. Different ordering methods. I have COD, I have EMI schemes. Yeah, guarantee policy, privacy policy and security. How my transaction is going to be secured. And finally, the payment gateway. So these are the components of e-commerce. Now this 2-tier architecture and 3-tier architecture. Client-server model. Client-server model, yeah, where there's one server serving the needs of multiple clients. That is known as client-server model. So your 2-tier client-server model, you can understand it by the ticketing counter. You go to the railway station and you want to buy a ticket. Say you're traveling after your CA exams, you want to go and buy the tickets. Now in that case, you're going to go to the railway station and give him the cash and he's going to give you the ticket. So in this case, there are only two tiers. One is the presentation tier or the user, and the other one is the database tier, from where he's getting or extracting the information about the available tickets. So one is a presentation tier and the second one is the database tier where all the information is stored. So please note, there is no processing tier in between, no third level in between. There is only two tiers. That's why it's known as a two-tier client-server model. Now this presentation tier allows the user to interact with the e-commerce vendors, connects to the database tier. This presentation tier helps me in connecting with the database tier. This presentation tier displays all the various tickets that are available, the train schedules that are there. Now this database tier stores the product information like price, customer data, all that is stored in the database tier. Clear? So two-tier architecture. Now under two-tier, what is the advantage and disadvantage? When you talk about the advantages of two-tier system, definitely it's a very simple structure. It is a very simple structure, easy to set, maintain, no much maintenance cost. Clear? Now the system performance is high because it does not have to go through multiple levels of processing. The system performance becomes very high. Now here it does come with disadvantages also. Number one, it is outdated model. It is an outdated model. Okay. So restricted flexibility and choice of DBMS. All the DBMS cannot be put in a two-tier model. So restricted flexibility. System performance is low if there's an increase in the number of users. No, so many people wanting to buy tickets, you understand the rush that can happen at the ticket counter. So system performance will be very low if there's an increase in the user. Clear? Clear with the advantages and disadvantages? If yes, let us move on to the most relevant model, which is the three-tier client architecture model. From your exam perspective, this is more important. So first, like how we have in the two-tier model, we have a similar presentation tier here. It is the top level which displays the information and communicates with the user. It communicates with the user and it communicates with the other tiers. Okay, the second tier would be your application tier. Second tier is your application tier, which is also called as middle tier, logic tier, business logic tier. Yeah, there are various names for an application, but because it is the business logic of any software. The application tier is the business logic of any software. It is pulled from the presentation tier and performs detailed processing. It performs detailed processing. Now this you can understand by the example of booking tickets through your IRCTC app. You go through the app. First it asks you for a login password, then you go in, then you enter the station, and then it displays the station, then you select it, then it shows you the train schedule, then it takes you to that. So that tier in between, which is processing the information, is known as application tier. Database tier, information is stored here and retrieved. Data is independent of the application tier. This database or the data is independent of the application tier. So if any maintenance needs to be done in the database, then there is no need to pull down the application tier also. The application tier can be up and running and you can still do a maintenance of the database tier. Manage the data without creating dependency on data storage mechanism. So this data is also independent. Okay, you can manage the data without creating any dependency on the data storage mechanism. Clear? So client sends a request, it goes to the application tier, it sends a request, it goes to the database tier, and the database responds to the application tier, which in turn responds to the user or the presentation tier. Now here the advantages and disadvantages. Dynamic load balancing. So a lot of load is not there on the database tier. Application tier, so for example, if you enter that you want to go via a train from Madurai to say Raipur, okay, Madurai to Raipur. In case there is no direct train, the application tier itself will tell you there is no train between these stations. It does not have to go to the database and then pull out the extraction information. So dynamic load balancing between the tiers. Change management. In case you want to change any components of the server, things are not working fine, you can still change with the system being functioning absolutely perfectly. Clear separation of the presentation application and database tier helps in quicker development of business logic tier and a shorter test phase. Now, clear separation of duties. Okay, because of which a quicker development of the application tier and a shorter test phase. So the advantage is quickly, load balancing, change management, quick development. Load balancing, change management, quick development. Disadvantages: there is a lot of network traffic. In case there's a network traffic, the server will default. Okay, complex in maintenance and setup. This is the important disadvantage. It is very high in maintenance and setup, high cost and high activities. So this was once an exam question, that's why I've included in the revision. What is the e-commerce wide internet? Okay, e-commerce diagram through the internet. Clear? You can just have a look at that. Workflow diagram: submits the order, pays shipment, yeah, phone, customer, and then goes back, right? This again, please, what I mean to say is, do not omit these questions in your textbook. Do not think it's just a diagram. This was an exam question as well. Workflow diagram for e-commerce. Workflow diagram for e-commerce. Benefits of e-commerce. Now, benefits can be divided into 3 categories: benefits to the customers, benefits to the business, and benefits to the government. Now, to the customers, to you and me, what are the benefits of an e-commerce website? Okay, first, it's convenient. Anytime, anywhere, I can order anything that I want to. Time saving. Time saving, it reduces a lot of time in ordering the item. I have so many options to view from. I can review or compare the prices which are applicable on one site to the prices in another site. Coupons, I can use coupons and save my cost of getting the product. And then I have deals. Deals and coupons are one. Deals and coupons are one and the same. Clear? Coupons and deals. Next is benefits to the business. Obviously, business will have better reach to the customers. Yeah, it can go into new markets. It can have increased revenues. Clear? So, customer base increases. The market, dynamic market, I can enter into new market, low barrier to entry. It is easy for anyone to go out there and set up an e-commerce website because it does not require physically going, looking for a place, paying a huge amount of rent, paying a deposit. All of that is removed. You can just go and quickly get a domain name and start a website. Reduction in cost, efficiency, reduction in cost. So, I save time, efforts and cost. Time, efforts and cost. Now, efficient. Clear. Now to the government, there are 2 benefits that the textbook is mentioning. One is corruption is reduced because all the transactions have an audit trail. I can trace it back to where I got this from, which computer, which IP address. Clear? Ecological damaging material are reduced. Ecologically damaging materials are reduced when it comes to e-commerce sales. Now, next question is disadvantages of e-commerce. Disadvantages of e-commerce. Cultural sentiments. Cull sec legal not high int. Cull sec legal not high int. Okay. So, cultural sentiments. People are still not comfortable with going and buying things on e-commerce. They do not want to give their card details. They do not want to specify what exactly they want to buy. So, cultural sentiments still stop a few people from going onto the e-commerce platform. Security concerns. Yeah, a lot of cases we've heard in the past which talks about, people looting money through the cards. Security concern. Legal issues. There could be a lot of legal issues because the e-commerce vendor has to follow the laws not only of one country but of major countries where they are in operations. If you take, for example, Netflix, it is there in so many countries. So, it needs to make sure it follows the laws of all the countries. The other side of legal issues is that in case someone has given me a defective product when I've ordered on e-commerce, it is very difficult for me to take them to the court of law because the evidence is not very clear. Not possible to do business online. There are a few items for which it is not possible to do an e-commerce module. Okay, people still prefer to buy that by touch and feel. Clear? Touch and feel. High startup costs. High startup costs with regard to connection, hardware, software, setup, maintenance. The startup cost could be high. You have to invest in technology, right? Internet connection. If people do not have internet connection, they cannot get connected to the e-commerce website. Disadvantages. Yeah, done. Easy point. Cull sec legal not high int. Cull sec legal not high int. Next, risks in e-commerce business environment. Now, these risks in e-commerce business environment are, you have to imagine your personal experience. with e-commerce websites, and you can write these answers. Okay, privacy and security could be an issue, quality could be an issue, there could be delay in the receipt of goods, or there could be hidden costs. So sometimes that I see on the website some price is flashing, but when I order, the bill amount is much more than what I saw online, because they say that no, delivery charge is different, yeah, this charge is different, that charge is different, packaging is different. So like that, there could be some hidden costs which are there that I may not be aware of. Internet is required mandatorily, security could be a concern, infrastructure. In small cities or small towns and villages, it's not possible to have the internet connectivity and the road connectivity. Problem of anonymity, sometimes you do not know who is on that other side, who is selling what. Repudiation of contract, okay. So e-commerce, it's not taken to be a legal contract, so someone could go back on their word. They could promise a delivery, but they could go back on their words. Lack of authenticity. Lack of authenticity. I don't know if the product that I've ordered is original and genuine. Data loss. Data loss. There could be denial of service, data loss. Yeah. Hackers could come in. Non-recognition of e-transactions in the court of law. Lack of audit trails. Sometimes the transactions could be so complicated that it's difficult to trace it back because it is through the system means. And then I could have piracy. Someone could copy the product and sell it online. Clear? Parties for whom controls are essential in e-commerce. Parties for whom controls are essential. Now, it's essential for the users of e-commerce, the sellers, buyers and merchants, the sellers on e-commerce, the government, network service provider, technology service provider, logistics service provider, payment gateway. Payment gateway. Network service provider would mean the internet connection, say Jio or Airtel. And technology service provider could be whether I'm listed on Amazon, whether I'm listed on Flipkart, who provides the technology for me to work on, for me to sell my products on. Logistics service provider and payment gateway. Training and educating the parties for whom controls are essential in e-commerce. How do I train and educate the parties for whom the controls are essential in an e-commerce? I have to educate them about the nature of risks, okay. I have to communicate with them about the various policies that I have, like privacy policy, information security policy, refund policy, return policy. I have to educate or communicate to my users regarding these policies. I have to ensure compliance with industry body standards, okay. I have to ensure compliance with RBI norms for collecting payments. I have to comply with the industry body norms. Protect the e-commerce from intrusion. Please note, this could be a standalone question. Protect the e-commerce from intrusion. It could be a standalone question. Your keyword is going to be intrusion. So in case they ask intrusion, 5 easy points: virus, hackers, password, sensitive data and regular software update. Virus, hackers, password, sensitive data and regular software updates. Okay, so under that, self-explanatory again, know the details of payment service providers contract. So I can have a tie-up with Razorpay, with Paytm in order to collect the payment. So I need to know the details of the contract between my payment service provider. Clear? Training and educating the parties. These are the various levels through which the breach can occur. It could be a perimeter network, and then it goes on to the internal network, operating system, then data, and then someone can touch the application. So first is the perimeter network. You need to protect that. Google has huge perimeter fencing gates so that no one can enter the premises. So perimeter network, okay, levels through which breach can occur. Now cybersecurity risks is of two types: direct financial impact, indirect operational impact. Direct financial impact, financial known as direct, operational known as indirect impact. So you can understand by the name, financial means actually there's a loss of money. Indirect operational impact, there could be employees leaving my organization, there could be loss of reputation, quality of my service could not be good. So indirect operational impact. Now please note, this is due to the cyber risks, due to an external party affecting my system. Risks posed to an by information technology to an entity's internal controls. Okay, so this talks about SA 315, and it says unauthorized changes to data, inaccurately processing data and processing inaccurate data. So first, instead of 10,000, Instead of 10,000, I enter it as 20,000. Okay, this is inaccurately processing data. Processing inaccurate data. Okay, it was a purchase bill for 10,000, but I recorded it as a sales bill for 10,000. Processing inaccurate data. Access privileges beyond my duties. So RBAC, manual intervention, loss of data. Manual intervention, loss of data. Principles in addressing key cyber security risks. So this is an important question again. How are we going to remember this question? The answer, principles in addressing key cyber security risks. Principles in addressing cyber security risks. Under that, divide the answer into 3 buckets. Okay, the first bucket would be from point number 1 to 4. Okay, I have a network diagram where hubs, switches, routers are all written in the diagram and how they are connected, so that I understand the information flow. Network diagram, okay, and I can place controls at the suitable material levels. List of digital assets. I need to have an entire list of my digital assets in the company. Only if I have the list of the assets in the company, I can understand that what are the assets that need extra protection or control. List of digital assets. Policy. I have to check my information security policy. Record of to see if all the clauses are covering all the possible consequences. Record of breaches and actions taken. So earlier, were there any cyber breaches that happened to the company's data? In that case, what was the action taken by the company? This is your bucket number 1. Network diagram, list of assets, then I have my information security policy and list of cyber security breaches and the actions taken. My next bucket would be the hierarchy. Chief Information Officer, IT managers and employees. IT managers and employees need to check each of their roles and responsibilities. After that, all the points relevant to employees. What are their access, the third bucket, what are their access rights? What are the approvals that they necessarily need to get? Are there enough awareness programs that are going on? Employee awareness. Do they have to go through firewalls? Is it working properly? Two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication. While signing in, are they being asked for the second level of check? Vulnerability scan, penetration testing. Am I doing any thing to check if there are any missing controls or missing safeguards in my organization? What is my policy for backup and recovery of data? Because in case a cyber security happens, I need to have the data backup ready with me. So you have your 3 buckets ready. Clear? Very good. Next, guidelines governing e-commerce. There are certain guidelines because of law or because of general business practice on these areas in the e-commerce. Billing, on the format of the bill, suppose GST bill, then what are the essential components that needs to be there. On the product guarantee, shipping policy, delivery policy, return policy and payment method. Guidelines governing e-commerce. Laws governing e-commerce. First, there are few general laws. We're not going to get into that. Then there are the special laws, which is the IT Act and Reserve Bank of India. So IT Act, there could be 2 questions from IT Act. Question number 1 could be objectives of the IT Act. Now the objectives of IT Act is to grant legal recognition for a number of things. To grant legal recognition. Let us see, to grant legal recognition for what? It could be electronic data interface transactions, DSC, digital signature certificate, fund transfer, bookkeeping in an electronic manner, electronic filing, electronic storage, legal infrastructure to promote e-commerce. There could be policies to protect from cyber crimes. And the objective of e-commerce is to list down the penalties and prosecution for various cyber crimes. Clear? So IT objectives, IT Act objectives. That could be question number 1. Now your question number 2 is positive aspects of IT Act. Please highlight these words, positive aspects of your IT Act. Now your positive aspects of your IT Act talks about 4 main sections. The easy way to remember this is section 3, DSC, 3 letters. So section 3, digital signature certificate. Section 4 talks about mail, MAIL. So section 4 talks about mail. Now this is to give legal recognition to DSC, to give legal recognition to email. Section 6 talks about e-governance. So government can issue notices on the internet form or e-form instead of a envelope and then a letter. Instead of that, they can post notices in the electronic form, and that is governed by section 6 of the IT Act. So NOTICE, notice section 6. Is that an easy way to remember? Yes. Wonderful. Now the last section is section 14, which talks about secured electronic records, securing electronic records by means of DSC. Clear. So 3 is on DSC, 4 is on email, 6 is on notice. Next question, forces behind e-commerce revolution. Forces behind e-commerce revolution. Please mark this question as important. The code word for that is going to be SPA Probio Conso. SPA Probio Conso. Okay, so SPA, S stands for social network. Forces behind e-commerce revolution. Please understand the question means to ask that why has e-commerce faced such a boom in today's world? So we are trying to address the reasons why e-commerce went through a big boom. One is because of the social networking sites. Second is because of technologies such as predictive analysis and artificial intelligence, which are able to tell what exactly the person is likely to buy, when can he impulsively buy a thing. Okay, if we show him product ABC, he will immediately buy it. They know because of artificial intelligence. So first is social networking, SPA. Second is two technologies, predictive analysis and artificial intelligence. P, pro-bioconso, proliferation of mobile devices. Mobile devices, as we all know, is there now in everyone's hand. Yeah. So in that case, the reach is magnanimous. Biometrics. Biometrics, having additional authentication means such as biometrics, it becomes safer, more reliable to shop on e-commerce. Pro-bio-conso. Okay, con stands for convergence of mobile communication network and internet. So mobile and the internet, the convergence of this has given rise to the e-commerce revolution. And support of government laws. Support of government. The government is also coming out with a lot of laws that is supporting the e-commerce model of business. Clear? Wonderful. Next is an important topic, digital payments, UPI, Unified Payment Interface. UPI payments, we use our Google Pay apps, we use Phone Pay, e-recharge, FreeCharge, all these apps to make payments. Now these work on the UPI model, Unified Payment Interface model. IMPS, okay, Immediate Payment System, IMPS, which helps in transferring funds to my bank accounts in an immediate fashion. BHIM, Bharat Interface for Money, okay, developed by the NPCI. Now this BHIM is also based on the UPI concept. Mobile wallets. Okay, I can download a Paytm wallet on my phone and I can do transfers or other banking facilities through the Paytm wallet itself. AEPS, Aadhaar Enabled Payment System. Aadhaar Enabled Payment System. It's coming where your bank account is going to be linked with your Aadhaar number, and by just having not even a smartphone or a single phone, you can do your transactions by having the Aadhaar number. USSD, okay. Now my USSD works on the code. Supplementary code. Okay, remember the code we used to dial in the earlier days for getting balances. Similarly, I type such a code through my SMS and I send it and I receive my basic facilities. For example, press 1 for account balance, press 2 to transfer money, press 3 to add a beneficiary. Okay, such basic options I get on my USSD when I click this. This is yet to come. Clear? Next is mobile banking. Banking through the app, bank app, which I can be installed in my mobile phone. Cryptocurrency and e-rupee. Cryptocurrency and e-rupee. These are the two new concepts added. So it is very important. Cryptocurrency and e-rupee. Now if I say cryptocurrency, you would have heard a lot of this now. Yeah, this is an amended portion, so we'll take it slowly. Digital money, no physical coin involved. So cryptocurrency is digital in nature. It does not involve exchange of the physical coin. There is no physical cryptocurrency. It's all in the digital form. It can be transferred online. Bank account is not required. So I just need to have a crypto wallet without a parent bank account linked to it. Through that crypto wallet, I can exchange the money. It is stored in digital wallets, used for making quick payment without any transaction fee. Because of this feature, cryptocurrency is getting very popular, because to transfer money from one country to another country, number one, it takes some time, number two, the transaction fee is high. So cryptocurrency helps me solving both these problems. In that case, it is becoming very popular, growing rapidly in popularity. Clear? Now, it is produced by a public network, not by the government. It is not a centralized currency like our rupee or dollar, which is centralized or managed by the Reserve Bank of India. The rupee is managed by the Reserve Bank of India. It's not such with cryptocurrency. Even you can launch a cryptocurrency, even I can launch a cryptocurrency. It is produced by a public network, not the government. Uses cryptography to ensure payments are received and sent safely. So, cryptocurrency is based on the cryptography technology, which means that when the money is in transit, no one can invade that, right? So, uses cryptography. We've already studied this: public key, private key, encrypt, decrypt and ciphertext. It is decentralized. No servers involved and no central controlling authority. It is decentralized. So, for example, you, your friend and I, we three of us come together and we are good at solving some mathematical problems. So, we three form a peer group and we can launch our own cryptocurrency. We can launch our own cryptocurrency. The first that was launched in the world was Bitcoin, and the rest, the other examples are Litecoin, Ethereum, Peercoin, a lot many. Next is a very interesting concept called e-rupee. E-rupee. You've heard of government subsidies, government giving subsidies to the people. Yeah, so we have gas subsidy, for example, and then we have subsidy to buy urea, subsidy for education. Yeah, so government gives money for educating the girl child and the family. And now the question is, do the people entirely use this money for education? Yeah, because certain times the money is even being used for other needs, say for example for food, yeah, or sometimes even for alcohol and for staying as a part of the rent. So, instead of being used for education, which is a mandatory component in a person's life, but they use it for the other mandatory components, okay, like roti, kapda, makan, food, clothing and shelter. They could use it for the other components. So, how does the government keep a check that the money that I've given is actually spent for educational purposes? Now, because of that problem, we have something called as e-rupee, which is like a prepaid voucher, and they will give that voucher directly to me, and I can spend that voucher only in the school. Only in that school will be given an UPI. So, that money can be spent only in the school. It cannot be spent anywhere else. That voucher cannot be encashed anywhere else. That is e-rupee. E-rupee. Cashless and contactless method introduced by Government of India. August 2021. Cashless because it's a prepaid voucher. Contactless. Important step in ensuring government benefits reach the intended beneficiaries in a timely manner. Sometimes what even happens is the middlemen take away half of the amount and give only the remaining half to the public. Even that problem is solved, the problem of corruption. Like a prepaid gift card. Like a prepaid gift card. Prepaid UPI e-voucher can be redeemed through QR code or SMS string. So, even if I do not have internet on my phone, I can still redeem it through the SMS string. Example, scholarships, subsidies, etc. It is a leak-proof transfer, where means money is not leaking out somewhere else. Leak-proof transfer, it ensures seamless benefit transfer to citizens. Person-specific and purpose-specific. It is given specifically to a person for a specific purpose like education. Okay, so person-specific and purpose-specific. If they are vaccination-specific, they can only be redeemed at hospitals or vaccination centers. So, this is being done using technologies, using the QR that can be, it can be encashed only at that QR. Clear? Yes. One-time payment mechanism developed by NPCI. One-time payment mechanism. Along with the Ministry of Health, Health and Family Welfare, National Health Authority, Department of Financial Services. This is just for knowledge. Any government agency or corporation can generate these e-vouchers through their bank partners. I can go approach my bank and request them. So, currently I think around 8 banks are ready to issue the e-rupee vouchers. Many other countries including US, Colombia, South Korea use these vouchers for the delivery of benefits to the citizens. Advantages and drawbacks of digital payments. Now, this is also a very easy way to remember this answer. The advantages, if you remember, you will be able to remember the disadvantages also. Okay. So, advantages says easy and convenient. The contrary drawback would be difficult for a non-technical person. So easy, difficult, easy and convenient, difficult for a technical person. Advantage is helps in getting a lot of discounts. If I make the payment online or through certain wallets, I get 10% extra cashback discounts. But it results in overspending because actually I cannot see the physical money going out of my wallet. Written records are available. Okay, here the drawback is risk of data theft. Risk of data theft. Environmental friendly because not using the paper, but the drawback is it needs internet access. It needs internet access. Less risk when I'm transferring money. Okay, but I have a risk of losing money. Disputed transactions, I have a risk of losing money. Competitive advantage for businesses. Businesses are highly benefiting because of digital currency, but it also leads in an increased business cost because they have to set up the entire mechanism and then they have to pay some 2% transactional fees, all of that, increased business cost. And one more advantage which is very important and because of which all the drawbacks are most of the time ignored is that it has an anytime and anywhere access. I can make the digital payment from anytime and anywhere. Clear? Next we're moving into the computing technologies to show you the computing technologies that we're going to study about. Virtualization, grid computing, cloud computing, mobile computing, green IT, BYOD, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the new added in the list is blockchain. These are the list of e-commerce, m-commerce and computing technologies. These would be the computing emerging technologies that we're going to study about. Clear? So today, now in this session, we'll take up virtualization, which is an interesting topic also. Virtualization, so earlier the traditional architecture was such that there would be a hardware. So you go and buy a laptop and that laptop person tells you, please wait for 1 hour or for 1.5 hours. They make us wait at the store and they install the operating system on the laptop. Okay, they install the operating system on the laptop. So they install that operating system and on that I can put in my applications. I can put whatever applications I need, Microsoft Office or some Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, all of that I can put as per my need. Now what happened is people started saying that I want certain applications but they do not work on my existing operating system. They work only on Microsoft Linux or some specialized operating system. Okay, so computer engineers said, don't worry, when we are here, we'll solve that problem for you. They introduced a concept called virtualization. Now under virtualization, how the new architecture looks like is this. Okay, there's the hardware, okay, and then there's a virtualization layer. Because of this virtualization layer, I can have multiple operating systems in a same software. Okay, so multiple operating systems. I can work on Microsoft Windows, I can have iOS, I can have Linux. Okay, so I have multiple operating systems on the same laptop. And now whatever are the applications that are compatible to the OS, I can install those applications and work on it. So virtualization layer is the one that helps me have many operating systems. Let us see how that works. Different operating system on the same hardware, consolidation of many small physical server into one large physical server. Hypervisor, important for MCQ. Hypervisor is the software that creates a virtual machine on the host hardware. So how will I create this virtualization layer? By using hypervisor. It creates a virtual machine or a virtualization layer on the host hardware. Clear? So hypervisor, it controls the processor, memory and other components. So the storage capabilities, the processing capabilities still remain the same, but the operating systems will be able to access that in an independent fashion. Clear? Network, splitting the available bandwidth. Large physical network is made into smaller logical networks. The network traffic is controlled. So here we are doing types of virtualization. Storage, backup, archiving, recovery, all of that is possible through the operating software. Abstracting the logical storage from the physical storage. Okay, this is our question number 2 on virtualization. What are the application areas of virtualization? Types of virtualization: hardware, storage and network. Application areas of virtualization: server consolidation, P2V, physical to virtual servers. It is actually a virtual server. Okay, disaster recovery. In case of a disaster, I can get back the information because I can extract it from an other operating system. It is stored on the virtual machine. Testing and training is possible. Okay, I can develop many programs and say some programming needs to be done only on not on the Windows operating software but on Linux. I can do that. So testing and training is possible because of virtualization. Portable workspaces and portable applications. I can have the system portable along with the applications. Clear? So application areas of virtualization. With that, we come to an end of the session, and the other computing technologies we'll be seeing in the next learning year.